sorry. So my name is Ji Wang. I'm from University of Baltimore, and my presentation is about meta-analysis of government initiating co-production in online learning service delivery. So co-production is the citizen side and government side collaboration. So this is kind of emerging. This is a traditional concept because we have had citizen participation before, but the concept of co-production is a little bit different from just the citizen participation because co-production, even though the government started the delivery, service delivery, with the equal relationship, equal power, both the government and citizens are supposed to deliver the service together. So in terms of co-production concept, we have two different types of co-production, and one is independent co-production. Second one is participatory co-production. So individually, if I just involved with the public service delivery, that is independent government co-production, but with collective way, if the citizen and the government side are cooperating each other together, that is participatory co-production. Okay, so co-production is defined as any action by government or business, citizen side, and they are creating value. They are democracy, and they have both equal power, and they're delivering service together, public service together. And also, most important thing is the co-production is rely on resource dependency, because if government has enough money and resources, why does the citizen even involved with the public service delivery? So the government wants to save budget or resources, so they want to have some free, volunteering from the citizen side, and also by participating in that kind of public processes, the citizens also want to feel, they are doing, they are making their own voice. So as I said, resource dependency is kind of most important, and in terms of saving public money, this is kind of innovative, way. Co-production can be said as an innovative strategy. Okay, so in my topic, the locus is school site. So since the modality is online teaching modality, so rather than in the physical site, school education is conducted online. So it's kind of good, modality, so that parents could easily participate in that formulating process. Okay, so these two slides is about what the curriculums are. So let me just jump this one. So it has a whole school instruction, and it has individual subject oriented content. Also, school is kind of dialogue channel between the students and the community. So it also have community involvement, and also community consumer life education is also conducted. Okay, let me just skip this one. This is a kind of 3 layers of the public school system, and this is about the curriculum, national level curriculum and local government curriculum, and then school level curriculum, something, and then individual level curriculum. So let me just skip it. Okay, I want to focus on more our field agenda of co-production. So the purpose of research is this studies synthesizes the studies of this assertion in distance learning service delivery at K-12 level by using a meta-analytical technique. Co-production represents involvement of both users, service users, and public sector professionals in the delivery of service. So I actually have a 5 research questions, but one is missing here. So let me introduce my variable first. So independent variable is whether or not the teaching modality is online or face-to-face. And then dependent variable is students' achievement score. And the moderators are school level, grade, school type, and here time is, I will talk about time a little bit later, and then gender. But a lot of studies do not report sex variable report, so we just omitted that. And first research question is, how does government are initiating co-production in distance learning service delivery universally increases the student outcome? So here, instead of having trouble in making measures targeting co-production, we just simply use proxy co-production as online teaching, because online teaching is done at home. So there must be, service user is students and parents. So if they are very young students, parents are supposed to sit down next to the kids, right? But if the school is, offered at school site, definitely there's no parents in the classroom. So classroom teaching, let me say, classroom teaching is a traditional way, government delivery, and online teaching is kind of co-production. That's the operationalized variable here. And, I just simply want to see the relationship between the modality, online, face-to-face teaching, actually, increase the students' achievement or nothing happen or even decrease. That is the first research question. The second research question is about, in the United States, from 1 to 5, elementary school and upper secondary. So this is simply a distinction between primary school and secondary. And third one is grade. I just brought the only elementary school only, so I just divided into 2. Kindergarten, first, second grade is a lower grade, and then 3, 4, 5 is upper grade. And the fourth one is private and public school has any difference in terms of this relationship between modality and students' achievement. And the last one is time. So the most recent year, the better online, outcome. So the key term combinations are here. So left side is about co-production related key variables. So co-production has like 4 kind of, steps, and then co-commissioning, co-designing, and co-delivery, co-assessment. And since this is a school site, I think instead of co-production, people can use the term of parent involvement, parent engagement, parent participation. So we have like 11 through 13 keywords in the left side, and then the right side, 21, is related to digital learning. So like a web-based learning, remote education, something like that. So 11 times 21 is about 200, something like that. So I did that. I'm proud of myself. I did that. Yeah. So I just did it in the Google Scholar at the beginning of a study, and then I moved on the ERIC and any other kind of, JSTOA and something like that. And also how I changed this parent involvement, this is a variable. And then distance education is also variable, but school policy and student achievement is constant. So I just keep changing parent involvement side, the words until 11, and then distance education part, I change the word from the 1 to 21. Okay, so but I got like total 2,130. But actually, the studies that included what I need, information, 2 different groups, sample size, standard deviation, and mean, they are very, very little, but I couldn't do it all 2,000, studies. So I just started doing, so I just finished 13. I mean, I just read like almost 200 papers, but among 200 papers, I just got, valid 13 sample effect sizes, just like that. So as you see, the homogeneity test, this means you do not see any one line to penetrate all the effect size across the 13 studies. So this means all the studies effect size are different. So, single study, report this outcome, and then, another single study report the different outcome. So they are all based upon local data, but meta-analysis power is, it increases statistical power because I involved with all the sample size, right? But all the individual authors provide their effect size is this, their effect size is that. And then when I combine them, actually there is no consensus in it. So that means studies are all homogeneous. And then you remember the first research question, and at that time, overall model, universal effect, there is coproduction, effective. So here, as you see, p-value is not statistically significant. So we do not have a statistically significant overall model here. So coproduction itself does not affect the student's outcome. And then since the base model is not statistically significant, I have to specify the model different way. So I started to add the moderator one by one. So here I added school type and primary school, secondary school. As you see, the p-values are all insignificant. So here, let me tell you the plus, meaning the plus means positive value favor online education, and the negative value favor face-to-face education. So here, primary school has a positive number. That means maybe mom is sitting next to the kids. That's why primary school has online education effect is better than secondary school. Does it make sense? So, but unfortunately, that is not statistically significant, even though the sign shows some meaning. Maybe if I add more studies, it could be statistically significant, but for this, up to this point, I don't know. And then I added time. How can I do that? Because each study published their paper, so I could get the published year from the article, right? So I got it, and then time was statistically significant. That means the more recent year, better effective on online study, online education on the student outcome. Does it make sense? Okay, so this is about school, curriculum also. So let me skip it. And so let me summarize the result. So universally, how does government initiating co-production in distance learning service delivery universally increases student outcome? No. Is there any difference between primary and secondary, and which one is better? And we saw all the school levels are statistically insignificant. And then grade, this is also not significant, even though the value, the sign shows something. And then grade, private, public school, this is not graded, sorry, this is typo. This is school type, so ownership. I wanted to see that, and then interestingly, public school has better than private school. And time was also statistically significant. So recent year is more, kind of, positively associated with the students' outcome in terms of online education. So I want to try to say in the triangle of civil society, I mean, parent participation and, vendor from the private market, education, material market is huge. And then they're trying to, contact the teachers. Teachers usually have a lot of like marketers about the students, material thing and textbook thing and material. So like art stuff and, craft thing. But since the online, and then most teachers have to find out material online. So digital literacy is very important. So nowadays, like traditional educational interest relationships is getting, changing. So, but swing of the pendulum, this gonna be somehow, swing this way and that way, eventually find out some kind of equilibrium. In the beginning of the, pandemic, we are all concerned about how young kids can do online school. And then now, after 1 year, even though we are kind of fatigued, kids are starting to adapt to the new normal. So it's gonna be anyway, kind of, we are finding some kind of harmonized, level. But still we have, caveat because, the ones labor group, labor class, they cannot stay, at home because they have to work outside. So they cannot do everything next to the kids. So even though co-production is focused on democracy and, citizens' voice, I mean, if the parents who do not have resources enough, who don't have money, they cannot participate in this kind of, opportunity. So again, 2080 principle. So the ones who have more will have more resources, more power through the co-production. That's my guess. The end. Thank you very much.